Hi guys, welcome to the video. This was an extract from a meeting that I did with Lyndon Farrington. We talked about Viralio for just about an hour or so on a meeting I did for Wealth Warriors on the 9th of July 2025. So people have asked for just that information. They didn't want the rest of the presentation. So that's what I've done. I've extracted what Lyndon presented to us and put it into this video, just added this introduction by way so that you know what it is basically. So hopefully you find that useful. By all means, get it out to your friends and family if you want to share with them what Viralio is doing. Since Lyndon's presentation the other day, we've actually had some really good trading results with Viralio and with Octavia. So we're quietly getting excited. No promises, obviously, no guarantees, obviously. But it's beginning to look like there may be something there worth getting excited about. So by all means, share the video and I'll see you on the next one. Ask you to come and talk to us about Viralio. And I've not done anything on this presentation so far about Viralio, so I'll just do a quick introduction. Viralio is a platform that's being put together by some good friends of ours. Lyndon is the CEO of the company that's developing Viralio, and there's a very clever blockchain architect who's building the infrastructure, which is a trading system being driven by an AI engine. So we're beta testing it at the moment. Not all Wealth Warriors are involved in beta testing it, but some are. We're quietly excited about the prospect that we're going to have this and we're going to be first through the door with this. I think it's going to be an absolute revolution in trading. Yeah, I've asked Lyndon to come and join us, give us an update on where Viralio is, what he sees for the future. What the hell's Angelos been doing for the last 3 weeks? We've not heard from, so the last 3 days we've not heard from him yet. So yeah, if you like to take over, Lyndon, we'd all love to hear what you've got to say.
No worries. Okay. You've got screen sharing going on there, Andy. If at the appropriate time, if you could get the homepage of Viralio up, that would be cool. Not just yet. How long do you want me to speak for?
However long you like.
3 hours, 5 hours, or 10?
If you could keep it down to 10 hours, I think that would be good.
Okay.
So, because Becky's got to go for breakfast in about 10 hours. So.
All right. Okay. Right. So nobody knows anything about Viralio at all? No?
Yeah, no, we have some beta testers on here as well.
Okay.
But
All right.
the video is going to go out to the wider community of Wealth Warriors.
All right, great. Okay. Right. Well, thanks for inviting me here. And it's great. I've known Andy for, I don't know, is it 40 years yet? Or are we high 30s?
About 3 years when we were both young men.
That's right. I think it was 1988 that I showed up in that business, and that's where we met. So that was a long time ago. But so we do go back a long way, me and Andy. I'm, like Andy says, I'm the CEO of a company called Beep. I'm not here tonight to talk about Beep. What we were doing is we're looking at we're blockchain architects. That's the sort of high end of IT, and we don't get involved. There's different corners of cryptocurrency in the blockchain, and the corner that we live in is basically retail for shops. And we're building something that is invisible, so nobody understands the blockchain. That's what we do. Now, we don't get involved normally in trading, which when people say they're involved in the blockchain or cryptocurrency, two different things, by the way. The blockchains are the train tracks that cryptocurrencies run on. Last time I looked, there are about 500,000 different cryptocurrencies. Most of them you wouldn't touch with a barge pole. They're supposed to come with a white paper. Okay, the white paper is what is behind the cryptocurrency. Okay, and people invest in the companies, just like people invest in shares in companies. In the blockchain, they invest in the coin of that company. and the coin has to sit on a blockchain, and that's where we come from. We don't look at trading cryptos normally. It's a shark pool, okay, where it's the old adage of how to make a small fortune in trading is to start with a large one. And so 90% of people who try to trade cryptos lose money because there's just too much information to take in. And we have software that we trialed out about 5-6 years ago, and it looks at the 8 main indicators of whether a coin's going to go up or down. So when you come across somebody that's into crypto, it usually means that they've got Bitcoin or Ethereum or Litecoin or Ripple or one of the top 50 to 100 coins. The top 50, maybe the top 200 coins are usually backed by very good businesses. Okay, when you get down to the dodgy ones, then that's where you've got to be a little bit careful. And there is a phrase in the industry, so don't think I suddenly started swearing. There is a phrase in the industry. It's called a shit coin. Okay, and it basically means the coins that are way down off the first 500 mark. They are derogatively called shit coins because their life expectancy is pretty dismal. Okay, my office is in Cyprus. I live in northeast Wales, but we've got these little turtle beaches in Cyprus where the little baby turtles hatch and run to the seashore. And most cryptocurrencies have got about the same life expectancy as those little turtles getting picked off by the seagulls. So you wouldn't touch them with a barge pole. Now, when you hear somebody that says they're involved in crypto, it usually means they've bought some Bitcoin or Ethereum and they're buying and selling it. Okay, when Bitcoin hits a high, they'll sell it, and when it drops down, okay, to a low, they try and guess what the low is, and they'll buy down there and they'll sell when it hits a predetermined price. Okay, so that's pretty much what people do. And when people say they're involved in crypto or the blockchain, 99 times out of 100, that's what they're up to, buying and selling coins on one of the big exchanges. Okay, the Coinbase is where people start out. That's like the primary school, the kindergarten of exchanges on Coinbase. You can get into the more grown-up ones, like Kraken is a good one. Bitfinex, Binance, if the UK government allow you to do it, which they tend to restrict. But there are 10 good exchanges out there. But if I was you, I'd go to Kraken. Okay. Now, there are dozens of scams out there. And the way to spot a scam in this industry is you don't have to be Sherlock Holmes. You get a wallet, okay? And if you don't understand that phrase, just translate the word wallet to account, bank account, okay? So in the blockchain, you don't have a bank account, an account, you have a wallet. And the question is, do you control the wallet, or does the company that wants you to invest your life savings, do they control the wallet? And if they control the wallet, it's called custodial. They got custody of the wallet. And if they don't, if it's your wallet and you're in control of it, then it's non-custodial. Okay. So if you have a business where they control the wallets and they control the money they give to you, so if they say, come to us and we'll make you 10% a day, one is like, that's almost impossible. Okay. If they look at that and then, oh, you can draw your money out. Oh, can I draw all my money out for making 10% a day? Oh, no. You can only draw 5% a month. If they say things like that, run a mile. If they control your wallet, run a mile. Okay. If they're making outlandish claims, run a mile. Okay. So as high-end there's my business partner, Angelos, my angel with OS on the end, Angelos. He's from Cyprus. That's why our office is there. He created something. Okay, it looked at the 8 biggest reasons for coins to go up or down. Okay, and the coin will go up or down, determined by 8 different indicators. So he devised software that looked at 8 different things, and 8 in his Greek is octo or something like that. So he gave the software a name, called it Octavia. Okay, and back then, Octavia could not handle the data of all those things happening all the time. So we parked it up. Okay, and I always smile when I see people in Forex schemes and crypto schemes saying, you know, give me all your money and we'll trade for you. And I'm thinking, well, why don't you do it yourself? Okay, if you're so good at this, why would you need us? And the legitimate answer to that is that they can make a lot more money with 10% of yours and my income. That's fine. Okay, as long as we're making good money, everybody's a winner. So, but what I wanted to know is, can we do it for ourselves? And it always niggled me watching other people in this space making money. And I was nagging Angelos, my business partner, about this. There's a lot of people making a lot of money, the ones that do it right. And he said, you know what? Remember Octavia from years ago? Well, we didn't have AI then. And if we marry Octavia to AI, we could get an interesting mix. And that's what Angelos did. He said, tell you what, leave me alone for 30 days. I've got all the templates, we've still got the software, and we'll take it out for a spin. And the beta testing, as Andy mentioned, is happening right now. And we're limiting it to, we've got about 58 people that are beta testing. And we say, don't come storming in with your life savings. Okay. What you do with Viralio, like Viral.io, Viralio.com, if you put $100 into your Kraken account, you control that account. You can take money out whenever you want. You don't have to ask anybody's permission to take that money out. And if Viralio over on this side spots the opportunities and they enter the trade for you. Now, how can Viralio put trades on your Kraken account? The word is there's a link between the two websites, and the link is called an API. If you want to sound clever in a pub, it's called Application Programming Interface. It's how one website talks to another, API. So on all the big exchanges, there's API keys, okay? And you get those keys off Kraken, and then you give it to Viralio, and Viralio can't take your money out. You can't withdraw money, can't do that. All it can do is enter and exit a trade. That's all it can do for you, okay? And you set the budget. So and then if Viralio makes money, it takes 10% of your profit. So if you've got £1,000 in Kraken and it increases to 1,500 because of the trades that Viralio has spotted and takes you in and gets you out of. So you've made how much profit? $500 profit. 10% of 500 is 50. Last time I looked. Okay. So it's like saying, give me $50 after I've made you 500. If I don't make you 500, I'm not going to ask you for any money. So you put $100 into Viralio and it doesn't take it down. Those credits doesn't take it down until you've made money. And if you have made money, then it takes 10%. So if you put $100 in Viralio, you don't have to put any more into Viralio until it's made you £1,000 or $1,000. Okay. So it's got to make you 10 times that before it asks you for any more. By which time there's no way that that can be a scam, because the Kraken account is your account. So you've taken 100 and you've turned it into 1,000 before they even ask you for any more. And that was basically Angelos's reply to me saying there's all those scams out there. And he said, there can't be a scam if you have it in a non-custodial wallet. And it can't be a scam if it doesn't charge you, if it doesn't make any money. Okay. So that's what we're doing now. We're beta testing it. Our aim is to make between 1% and 3% a day. Okay. Which is what is looking as very achievable at the moment. During beta testing, it can make 3 or 4 losses today. The losses it makes will be like 0.1%, 0.2%, something like that. And then it makes the gains. But the thing is, because it's married to AI, it's learning. And whether you love AI or you hate AI, it is very scary stuff that it learns. And you have to be in the room. It's a bit like the Terminator movie. It was a bit creepy because it was talking to Angelos. I was in Cyprus the other day and I came into the room and said, who are you talking to? And he said, I'm talking to Octavia. I said, she's got a voice? Yes. Okay, because of AI, she's now thinking and she's speaking to him and she's learning and she makes mistakes and said, I'm sorry, I didn't do that, but I won't do that again. And you bet your bottom dollar, she won't do it again. Whereas a human being, we're all fallible. We might make that mistake again. Okay. And what I've been watching with Angelos in the last month has been nothing short of spectacular. And so we're not saying, look, come in with us and risk your life savings. Just put $100 into Kraken, $100 into Viralio. And if you want, you can wait till the beta testing's over. That might be a month, 2 months, could be 6 months. Don't think it'd be that long, but it could be a while. But we are capping it now to 100 people. We've got 50, 57, 58, something like that, signed up. And out of those 57, 58 signed up, I think there's about 30 odd, maybe 40 odd that have actually connected their APIs, because not everybody knows how to do that. I know Andy does, okay, how to connect APIs. So you're looking at this a very good time with Andy around, because he can help you get set up. Okay. So I think, Andy, I think that's all I'd want to say, really. If you want to show them the web domain, you can do that if you want.
Okay, yeah, one of the things that I was hoping you do, and feel free to say no, it's too soon. You said that Angelos gave you a sneak preview of some of the stuff that we might be getting in the next few days.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah,
know whether you want to cover that now, or I'll look at the back office first.
it's on the phone. He sent me a screenshot of what the latest the late. It's like, how can something improve that's already doing things that are completely impossible for a human being? Okay, because you saw it in the beta test where it said, right, we're going to look at the top 200 coins and we're going to look at every single transaction they did in the last 5 years. 200 cryptocurrencies, every single transaction they did over 5 years. That is a monumental task, but AI can do it, as we all know. And it's feeding the data back. So Andy, you watch that clock when
I
it
did, yeah, it
starts.
was 243 different coin pairs, and it took over a week for Octavia to ingest all of that information. It's quite phenomenal.
Yeah, yeah. And then she started, and then she started. We thought, okay, now I'm doing this. Now I've made a mistake, but I won't be doing that again. And then we do that. Now we've made money, good, and it moves on and it moves on and it moves on. So I'm like, wow, this is going to get us what we want to achieve. Okay, so that's yeah. Anglos is going to do a Zoom on Friday, day after tomorrow. I think it'll be about because Cyprus is 2 hours in front of us, so it'll be 3 o'clock and 5 o'clock Cyprus time, but it'll be recorded. I'll get a recording out to Andy and you can share it with people if you missed that. But Anglos has given me a bit of a sneak preview today, and I'm like shaking my head, thinking, "Wow, okay," because I'm the kind of guy that doesn't mentally spend money until the money's, of course, in the bank. But now I know about banks because of what I do for a living. Okay, now I know that when I say it's not safe until your money's in the bank. When your money's in the bank, it's not safe. Okay, far from it. So but you know what I mean. I don't spend money up here until it's earned and it's been realized and materialized. Okay. But I can get quite excited. I'll let Angelos do that, otherwise I'll be stealing his thunder.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, let's do that screen share you wanted. The other thing you said when we spoke, I think when we spoke initially, something you said that really impressed me was you said that when Angelos was setting Octavia up doing some simple tests, he said to her, "Well, what else do you need?" And she said, "Well, if I could have a news feed from the Fed maybe, or if I could have this information from over here." And so and Anglos set up the information she said that she needed, which I thought was quite scary in one way, but exciting in
Yeah,
another.
yeah,
She knew what she didn't know.
yeah. If I knew where the worldwide plug was for AI, I'd pull it out the wall and hit it with a sledgehammer. Okay. 5 minutes after, I put $10 million in the bank. Okay. From a selfish perspective, because it's like, but the thing about Octavia, it's designed from inception. That sort of AI is not designed to be. There's a word for it. Sentient. Yeah,
Yes.
it can't think for itself. It's got a limited scope. Okay, its job, the Octavia's AI job, is to take your Bitcoin and make it bigger. Okay, it's if you got a Bitcoin, congratulations, because a Bitcoin's worth about 70 grand now. Okay, when I started in the industry, one Bitcoin was £300, and my mum in Staffordshire had got 2,000 quid she didn't know what to do with, and I said, "Go and buy 6 Bitcoin." And she didn't, of course, and but every time I go for Sunday dinner, I always remind her that that 2 grand would be worth more than a house that her and my dad spent 45 years paying for. Okay, but so yeah, Bitcoin goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down, it goes up. But I tell you what, it just keeps going up, 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 up. And when you're in the industry, okay, you get used to the ups and downs. And then when you look at Viralio, you actually become quite excited about the ups and downs. Okay, because when it goes down, that's when all the panickers are panicking to get out. That's when all the speculators are going, "Go on, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going." Great. And when it hits the bottom, that's when they jump and buy in. And then they've got an exit strategy up here. Okay. And then they'll just dump it with no problem at all, and they take profits. So yeah, That's the sort of dashboard you get given. We've created this in the last 30 days. Quite remarkable where the team in Cyprus has put this together for us. Okay, and so you get your dashboard. It's free to join Viralio. We don't even ask who you are. Okay, we just say we just put in your. You don't put your name. It would be great if you did put your name because I'd be able to contact you and talk to you. Okay, but we're going to have what we call trusted advisors with Viralio, and I mean Andy is almost certainly in line to be one of those where, you know, if you've got an issue, you go through your trusted advisor and do it that way. But you get your dashboard with just an email and a password. It doesn't ask you what your name is. It just says, what's your email? Make a password for free. You've now got a Viralio account. Okay. And you top it up. In the top right-hand corner here, you can see that Andy's topped up and he's got $100 in, and you get 100, you get 20% for free. Okay. That's it. So when we're in the beta test, if you scroll down, stop right about that. Yeah. If you put $100 at the top, you get 20% free. $500, okay, you get 20% free. That's 30% free, sorry. And right down to the bottom, $5,000, you get 5,000 credits for free. I mean, if you come in with $5,000, it's like trading for free for the next goodness knows how long. And it's 10,000 times 10. Viralio doesn't ask you for any money until it's made you 100,000. Okay, if you've got 5,000 in, it doubles it to 10, and then it doesn't ask you for any more money until you've made 100,000. But if you're looking to not risk that, just go in for essential and put $100 in. Okay, but what you do, you don't send any money directly to Viralio. You put it in your Kraken account. So you put £200 in Kraken, leave £100 in Kraken, and then you send the 100 over into Viralio from your Kraken account. And you've got the perfect person here in Andy, because he knows what he's talking about for that. He can actually help you set that up, no problem. Right, Andy, anything else you want to know, or anybody want to ask me any questions?
Yeah, guys, you can all unmute yourselves if you've got questions for Lyndon. Oh, Gaia.
Hello, you two,
Hiya.
Andy and Lyndon. Nice
good
to
to
see
see
you.
you.
Well, still in my nightgown. You have odd times for me. So anyway, thank you for explaining that. Now, what I do not understand is, okay, we got $100 in and you get 120, what is great for Viralio, you know, and you're saying you pay when you earn. Now, am I paying towards my upline, or am I paying to Viralio and to my upline?
Okay, you're paying to Viralio $100. Okay, there is a commission. If that's the basis of your question, Guy.
Oh yeah.
Right, there is a commission, but it doesn't come out of your money. Okay, it comes out of Viralio's pocket. Okay, when you buy $100 of credit, for now we give you 20% free, but we do pay a commission. In fact, we will pay a commission because this is so new. That package hasn't been set up yet, but we will be paying 10% commissions out. It breaks down 7.5% and 2.5%. So it breaks down 7.5% of your top up goes to your introducer, and 2.5% to the introducer's introducer. Okay, that's where it stops. And also on the profits as well. Okay, because we charge on the profits, as you notice. Okay, but again, none of that comes out of your pocket. It comes out of Viralio's pocket. So, but so when you buy $100 worth of credit, you get $100.
Okay, I still don't understand it, and it's strange. So let me keep it just $100. So I pay out of the $100 in total 10% of my profit towards my upline automatically, or you do it regardless. That goes out of it. Is that right?
No, no,
Ah,
you keep all the 100. That 100, that 100 is your 100. Okay. Now I'll tell you. No, I think I can see where your confusion is coming from. Okay,
yeah.
because this is what the genesis of Viralio. Okay, is two guys, one called me, Lyndon, and his business partner, Angelos.
Uh-huh.
Do you think Viralio charges Lyndon and Angelos?
No, I think you will get money.
It, when Viralio does his work for us, okay, it doesn't charge us because it's our baby, it's ours.
Yeah,
Okay,
you earn.
right? We we created it so it makes money for us. Okay, so that money, if you like, came out of nowhere. It's ours, right? So when somebody puts $100 into Viralio, that's actually advance credit on advance profit. Okay. If we don't make any profit over on the Kraken side, you don't have any of that 100 taken away. Right?
Uh-huh.
Are you all right with that so far?
Yeah, I'm all right with that. I like that. Yeah.
Right. So when you've made $1,000
Mm-hmm.
out of 100, okay,
Mm-hmm.
then you've made $1,000 profit. It would have taken 100 away from you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That was the now it doesn't ask you for any more money now, but it does ask you to top up now. So you now top
Mm-hmm.
up another 100.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So in layman's words, are you telling me the $100 I put in Virelio, you use for trading and you make money on it, and I just pay my commission after I earned my money, what is very fair and it's very low. So I really appreciate, I don't mind paying at all. But is that what you wanted to say to me?
Not really. No.
Oh,
Yeah.
ah,
So close, so
ah,
close.
Yeah, you're getting
so
there.
close. Andy,
Yeah.
spit it out. Tell me.
Okay, do you want me to have a go, Lyndon?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can. Until the light goes on, then yeah, because I mean, Gaia, I get it. I get it because this is me every day working with a genius called Angelos. Okay. I
Yeah.
I keep stopping him. He gets things a lot quicker than I do.
Yeah.
Um, but he'll say something and then he goes to say something else, and I go, stop, 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 because
Yeah.
I'm stuck on this word. And
Yeah.
it said, if you keep talking, all I'm doing is focusing on this one thing. Right.
Mhm.
So I really get it. So Andy, if you want to have a go.
Okay, so you put $100 into your Viralio account, okay, yeah?
Hmm. Yes.
Okay, and you've got some money in your trading account. Now Viralio or Octavia knows how much you've got in your trading account, so it knows that when you've made some profit, let's suppose that you've made $100 profit, you
Hmm.
now owe
Okay.
Viralio, you owe the system $10. So
Yep.
Viralio will say, look, we've made you $100 in your Kraken account, Gaia, we're going to take $10 out of your Viralio account. Here you go.
Yep.
Sure. I'm happy with that. That's what the deal is. Okay, and that happens again several days in a row, and your money gets down to the point where you don't have any more money or left, or you could even go negative in your Viralio account. Okay, so then you get a message saying you've got to top this up, you've got to put some more money in. Otherwise, we won't be able to send you signals. It's not fair that people that pay get the signals, people that don't pay don't get the signals. So no, sorry, not signals. I should be careful with that word. It's not signals, it's the trading bot acting. So you then top that up and then you're good to go again. When you make some more profit, your money is taken from your Viralio account to pay for the service that created the profit. Now there's another system in play, which is where if you introduce somebody and you help them make profit, Viralio will pay you 7.5% of whatever profit they make. So you introduce somebody, they make $100, you get $7.50, not from them, not from their Viralio account, but from Viralio, the company, if you like, from Viralio. Okay, if they've introduced somebody, excuse me, and you help them make money, which you will because they're all getting the same trading information, then when that person makes $100, you get $2.50. Not from that person, but from Viralio. So first, let me check with Lyndon. Did I get that right, Lyndon?
Yes.
Excellent, thank you.
Yeah.
Gaia, did you get all that?
Yes. Yeah, I get
Excellent.
all that.
Okay,
Thank
cool.
you.
Well,
Cool.
thank you, Guy. You
if you
just
wake up tomorrow,
fired me. You just fired me from the explanations department. Because Guy didn't get it when I said it, but did when Andy did. So well done, mate.
Yeah, or teamwork, I would say.
well, I'm the original guy. When one of my children asked my mum a question, she said, "Why don't you ask your father?" He said, "I just didn't want to know that much about it." So,
Andy,
it's
Andy, sorry.
hi, Clayton.
Yes. So this is I'm Clayton Lyndon from Canada, and
Hello, Clayton from Canada.
so two questions for you is why do you want to do this? Dealing with hundreds of people and all of their drama and silly questions, like you guys could probably get rich on your own. So that's my first question: is why do you want to do this and spread it out to the world? And number two is I just want to clarify it's 100% passive and I don't have to place the trades and watch them at all.
Yeah. Second part of your question, yes, it's 100% passive. Angelos is building it with Octavia. The clever people out there can trade themselves and can do it manually themselves. For me, I would say knock yourself out, enjoy yourself. It's the last thing you'd catch me doing. If Octavia can do it for me, I'll go and put the kettle on any day of the week. So yes, it's passive. Why we're doing this is because of that business behind me there, Beep. Okay, I feel very passionate about it. I've resisted venture capitalists since day one. Oh, Clayton, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. I've resisted venture capitalists from day one, and we want to do something with Beep. We want to expand it, and this came out of a conversation that me and Angelos were having, and we said, let's bring Octavia to life now that we've got AI. I work with a genius, Angelos. He is a bona fide genius, and he's created a blockchain that is semi-invisible, that an 85-year-old granny can go and buy food in a shop and not even know she's taking part in the blockchain. And it's 4 times faster than Visa and MasterCard. And it's got nothing to do with any banks. And it's got me all the wrong attention from the banking industry. Okay. So that was one of the things that we're sort of fighting a corner for the common man doing what we're doing. So we had the brightest people in the world can also be the most stupid, because we've got Octavia from years ago. We put it into Beep jail, right? Because she could not handle the data 6 years ago. Great idea, but couldn't handle the data. And then Angelos and I are having a conversation ironically, we're having a conversation about a scam. Somebody was telling me this business is great, this business is great, and Angelos is saying it's a scam. And I'm going, why? He said, because it's a custodial wallet. And I said, how do you know? He showed me. Oh, right. And then I said, but these trades are actually happening in real time. He said, they're not happening in real. That's a scam. And then he showed me why that was a scam. I thought, right. So I said, so there's people out there that would rather make a dishonest $5 than an honest $20. Okay. And I'm like, why are they doing this? And I was nagging Angelos, one of those conversations that I was not letting go. And he turned around to me and said, I'll tell you what, if you just leave me alone for a month, I've already got the software, I've got all the templates you need. I will bring Octavia out of Beat Jail, and it'll be an arranged marriage with AI, and we'll get the funding for the things that you want funding within Beep. We'll do it. And one of the irritating things for me when you see these Forex classes and this, that, and the other, they say to people, come here for $500 a week, right? Come and do all these things. And I'm like, why do you want my $500 a week? Why don't you go and do it yourself? And the legitimate answer is, yes, we're doing it for ourselves, but if we can make 10% of 1,000 people's profits, that can give us massive leverage over what we're doing. And also, it can actually start to become influencers within that industry as well, and quite well hidden influencers, right? So we don't get followed around like the big whale. Okay, so if we've got thousands of individual Bitfinex, Binance, Kraken accounts, Qcoin, Crypto.com accounts, they'll never see us coming. Okay. And so that's the answer, is because the full answer, Clayton, is I've got a list of people I'm talking to buy something else off me within Beep. Okay. And so I'm talking to those 42 people to buy something else off me. And I said to Angelos when he built Octavia, I said, I know it's just for you and me, and just for you and me and our own money, but can I talk to these people on this list? And that list was a short list, about 42 people on that list. And I said, I actually don't want to speak to all 42 because some of them are a pain in the bum. Okay. They're going to want to know the inside of the cow's backside, right? I'm like, I don't want to do that. And I don't want a customer service department. And Andy Galloway said to me that he did something similar to this years ago without the AI. And he said, what will slow you down is the customer service. I said, already got that, mate. There's going to be no customer service. Okay. No contact us, no support at. Okay. There's going to be something called trusted advisors, where within each group, okay, this is a really good psychological question, right? Because if Clayton, let's pretend, Clayton, you're mentally lazy. Let's pretend. And I said to you, Clayton, go and create a Kraken account, $100, and go and put $200, keep 100 in Kraken and send 100 across to Viralio for your trading credits. Okay. And it's go to kraken.com, set it up. Okay. Don't and say, ask you certain questions, but it's easy enough to navigate your way through. And go to Viralio and do what it says. Now, Clayton's mentally lazy and says to himself, I don't think I want to do that. I think I want Lyndon to do it for free. So Clayton says to Lyndon, Lyndon, can you do it for me? That's human nature. You want, and I'll say, yes, sure, Clayton, I'll do it for you, but I need to tell you, I charge you for that. And you go, oh, okay. How much do you charge? I say, it's $100,000. And you go, what? He says, yeah. If you want me to open a Kraken account for you in a Viralio account, it's $100,000. And you'll think, you know what, Lyndon? I think I'll learn it myself, thanks. Right? So somewhere between, can you do it for free, please, and $100,000, somewhere between those two figures is a figure that you're going to say, actually, I'm really stuck. Okay. And I need to pay somebody to get me out of this stuck position. And I'm guessing in British pounds, that would be 100 British pounds, £100. So if we have trusted advisors out there that are nothing to do with the company, but they're part of a group, and their name, you don't have to put the name Clayton there, you can make it up, right? You could make anything up in your life. You can put, I don't know, like Canadian Bear, something, right? Everybody in that group knows that Canadian Bear is actually Clayton. And you'll get a message from the Viralio software that says, Andy Galloway wants some help. Okay. And on the trusted advisor, it says Canadian Bear charges 100 Canadian dollars for advice. So, and you ring them, you ring, hello, Andy, my name's Clayton. I understand you need some help. Okay. And he said, so look, you send me 100 Canadian dollars, and that's nothing to do with us, and we're away. Now, it should be so simple that you don't need any help after that. Okay. And that is why there's 7.5% commission paid out to introduce it, because you do get paid for helping the people get set up anyway. 7.5%. Okay, every time they top up. Okay, so that's good incentive, and it makes the introducer roll up their sleeves and help the people that they're actually working with. And if the two of you can't figure something out, okay, then then you've got the trusted advisors have got access to the company. They do have access to us. And if there's something that, you know, but the beta testers now, they've got direct access they've got the bat phone to Lyndon Angelos during that period. Okay.
Okay. Thanks, Lyndon. My very last question, you can make it short answer, is the 10% sounds very reasonable. You could have made it 30 or 40 or 60. 10% sounds more than reasonable. How did you come up with that number?
Licking my finger and put it in the air like that. Okay, because that was it. There's no other reason than that. Okay, because I've got friends, family, people around me, great friends I've known for a long time, like Andy, and it's like I don't want to make this money without sharing it a little bit. Now, that's impossible, because I say to a friend of mine that's he's an international footballer, and I told him about it because I know him, and he came back to me all sheepish and said, I've told my friend. Said, okay, this was the very, very early days. I couldn't stop it. And I realized that you can't keep a lid on this. So Angelos had a bit of a moan at me about something called scalability. Right now, on our blockchain for Beep, we're embedded in every major service center in the world. There's 26 of them, and we're embedded in every one of them. So we know about scaling, scalability, things like that. And he said, Viralio has to be on its own servers. We have to separate it from everything we're doing. It's going to be a bit of a monster. And I want to test it out with 100 people, because that will tell me how many gears I need to put in behind the scenes so that it can scale. And one thing for absolute certain, we're not going to budge on no support tickets. This thing here, Beat, right? Support tickets on Beat drive me nuts. Right? Drive me nuts. People want to, I get woken up. I keep forgetting to put my phone on silent because the people in New Zealand want to ask me questions at 4 o'clock in the morning. And it's the same question. And it's like, but they never do anything. Right? They want to know, they want to know, they want to know, and then they go away and do nothing.
Yeah.
And it's like, so that experience I brought into Viralio and said, no, we can't, we just can't be doing this. Okay. So there has, but we can't, if you're a computer dinosaur, we can't leave you out in the cold if you really want to do it. That's where the Andy Galloways and the Clayton step in and say, you know, I'll help you.
Yeah. Good. Okay. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Great.
Thanks,
Thanks.
Clayton. Yeah, we've got a question from chat.
Yes, hi, Lyndon. Hi,
Hi, Chet.
hi. I'm from United States, California. I'm calling, and would like to ask a couple of questions regarding. Well, let me preface by saying first, I hope I'm not one of those calls that you would call is going to be pain in the butt. So hopefully that excludes me from that condition. However, in the beginning of the process, you mentioned you have certain amount of coins in the system, in the crypto system. How do you put those coins in with your, let's say, with your initial $100 deposit?
Okay. How do we put the coins in the coins are already in the system, Chet. They're already there. Viralio spots opportunities. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. And you've got a Kraken account. If you had a Kraken account, you could, with your Kraken account, say, you know what? The price of Bitcoin is dropping. And the price of another coin, Ethereum, is going up. And if you're just watching this on your Kraken account, you can go and buy Bitcoin when it's low. Okay. And you can be what you've also got Ethereum. You can sell it when it's high. You can do that without us. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Those, you're just spotting opportunities. Right. I'm just giving you 2 coins, but there are hundreds of them. They're already there, Chet. Those coins are already there and they're already moving. They're very fluid. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the software of Viralio spots the opportunities on what is called trading pairs. And it notices that Bitcoin and the US dollar is having a variation. So there's an opportunity there.
Yeah.
Dives in, buys at the lowest price, and it's already decided when it's getting out. And that is what it's there for. The software sees the opportunity, and on your dashboard, you can actually watch it. You don't have to touch anything. And you can, the dashboard will say, looking for opportunities, and it's watching it, and then it enters and exits. Okay.
Yeah.
At that set time. Now, you can then go out of Viralio and you can go onto the actual exchanges, and you can see this happening in real life. That you can say, oh, Viralio's spotted an opportunity, the dollar against the Bitcoin, and you can be watching it over in Kraken, and you can say, yes, it's right. Look, the price is changing. Okay. But the really cool thing is that you're not doing anything. In fact, even better, you've got a coffee in your hand
Mhm.
and you're watching it happen. Okay. Now, this is not magic. Okay. Years ago, about 25 years ago, I went into the City of London and paid to go on a trading course to be a trader in the City of London. And it was the first introduction course, Monday to Friday. And at 9 o'clock Monday morning, by 9:30, I was convinced that this entire subject was nothing short of black magic. Okay. The trainer was talking about Fibonacci curves. Don't know, Chet, have you ever heard of Fibonacci curves?
I'm not familiar with it, no.
Okay. Well, it's a pattern that currencies change according to a curve. The dollar against the Japanese yen follows a pattern, and it's a predictable pattern. You've got to imagine me sat in a training room in London, having a guy tell me that this is a pattern. I'm going, I don't believe it. I just don't believe that you can predict that the pound, the US dollar and the Japanese yen have got a pattern. And one of the patterns is called a Fibonacci curve. And the moment you started talking about Fibonacci curves, I was out. You understand me? I was out. I was like, this is not for me. Okay.
Yeah.
But years later, I've actually realized that he was right. Okay. And AI today, AI can look at things so much faster than you and I. And that's what
So Lyndon, are you trying to tell me that AI is getting closer to what we call a anticipation algorithm?
anticipation algorithm.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. That's exactly.
The probability of an event happening lower than, let's say, 49.95% versus that type of statistic, they'll be able to pick that up with time.
Yes. Very
Okay.
good. Very good. Yeah.
And my final question, Lyndon, is would you talk about the influences, right? To get money involved into Viralio regarding the 7.5%, would you go ahead and talk to a newbie who has no experience with crypto at all, but has the money? Is that a good candidate for your platform?
I would get you in touch with Andy. Okay.
Okay.
Because we started Viralio, Angelos, my business partner, and I, we started it just for us, so we could make money ourselves. But we said we'll share it with people we know, and I know Andy Galloway for 40 years nearly. Okay, we were young men in our. I'm 64, so
You're young. You're a young man, Lyndon. You're a very young man.
thank you. I'm going to live till I'm 110. And I already know how I'm going to die. Okay. I'm going to be shot by a jealous husband. That's so I intend to live a long time, and I want to be very active. Okay. So yes, we'll work with you. Of course we'll work with you, right? But in the previous question from Clayton in Canada, we were looking at scalability to how this can scale without it becoming a monster. Okay, so we want individual clusters of people, okay, that are incentivized to help each other, and those individual clusters can have direct access to us all the time. So I'm never going to be far away, Chet. Okay.
Okay.
In fact, you know, they say the world is connected by 6 people.
6 degrees. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And I tried that out actually, and with the international football that I know. I kept asking him questions like, you know, do you know this person? Do you know that person? You know, so there we go. All right. So yeah, I'm only one step away from you at all times. So if you're asking Andy Galloway a question, then Andy will be asking me before 5 minutes has passed. Okay.
Yes. Thank you, Randy.
Okay.
Lyndon, thank you.
Okay. No problem.
And just so you guys know that when we start putting this team of people in place, I'll be running the odd workshop just to make sure we're all of our information is current, up to date. We're all singing off the same song sheet, so that as trusted advisors, we all know what we're talking about. You know, you might be good with 2 or 3 exchanges, and I'm good with 2 or 3 other exchanges and that sort of thing. So as a team, we'll be able to make sure everybody gets the support that they need.
Put my name down there for me, Andy.
You're top of my list anyway, Chet.
Okay.
But of course, now we get to the very, very important question for Lyndon. You said that you were you only had a list of 42 people to talk to, and some of them were a
Right.
pain in the butt. Was I on the list? Was I one of the ones that were a pain in the butt?
No,
That's
you're
the
on the list.
That's the important.
You're definitely on the list, and on my Excel sheet, you're actually highlighted in yellow.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Good. You got a good taste in men.
Yeah. And it was the masternode conversation. If you remember,
Yes.
I was always trying to sell these masternodes in Veep, and I was always like, I think Andy was frightened of picking the phone up from me at one stage.
Well, I'm going to be buying a masternode, so you know, you're
Yeah.
not that scary.
Yeah, there you go, mate. All right, guys. Anybody else? Any other questions?
That's great, Lyndon. Listen, thank you so much for your time this evening. Very much appreciate it. All the background and you know the information you provided. We'll be looking forward to Angelos's Zoom call on Friday. So the sooner you can get that link to me, then the sooner I can get it out to everybody. That'll be great. We'll look forward to that. And I think those of us that are beta testing with Viralio are excited about it. I know we don't expect great things from the beta testing. We're certainly not in the early stages of the beta testing. As she gets good, then we'll expect better results, obviously. But also to launch this and scale it up worldwide is going to be good to be in on the ground floor and part of something that I think is going to be a very, very significant thing to happen in the world of crypto. So yeah, I'm excited to be on board. I know some of the other guys are as well. So thanks for that.
All right, mate. Appreciate it. Thank you for inviting me here.
Meanwhile, have a great couple of days and we'll talk on Friday.
All right, guys.
Yes, thank you so much. It was lovely.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Lyndon.
guys. See you soon.
God bless
Take
Linda.
care.
Bye now.
Bye bye.